Missouri's Attorney General is on a mission to protect the integrity of schools and probing 7 districts following complaints over this alarming student survey. Eric Schmitt joins us right now, along with our friend Pete Hegseth, who exposes what is happening in the classroom in his brand new #1 book, Battle for the American Mind, Uprooting a Century of Miseducation. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Mr. Attorney General, let's start with you. What was this survey? And I know you've subpoenaed the school district to try to get to the bottom of it. Whose idea was it?
Well, it's the school districts who've hired outside consultants to the tune of tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so we had whistleblowers come forward exposing these really divisive, invasive questions about sexuality, parents' political beliefs, parental income, really divisive topics without parental consent in some instances. And so we're opening an investigation on that front. At the same time, Steve, we've opened something called the Students First portal, where parents are submitting objectionable curriculum and materials in school districts. What we found has been shocking. Kids being forced to do what's called the privilege walk with their peers. Something called the oppression matrix, where you're dividing kids up by oppressor and oppressed. Covert white supremacy, meaning if you believe in color blindness. This stuff is nuts. It has no business in our classrooms. And we're going to continue to fight back, push back, expose it, and get rid of it.
Okay. Now, Pete is over in the other part of the studio. Pete, let's play. You and I were just talking about this privilege walk. So if the camera guy could pull out a little bit so we can do this. Pete, let's play the privilege walk with you. All right. So first up, Pete, if both of your parents graduated from college, take one step forward.
Then I would step forward.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Now, if you have ever been called names regarding your race, socioeconomic class, gender, sexual orientation, or physical learning disability and felt uncomfortable, take one step back. So would you step forward or back?
So I've been called a lot of names, but I probably wouldn't step back, but maybe others would, right? And you can conceive of a situation where you have students who take 2 steps back because they lack privilege, according to the survey, but kids who have married parents or went to college are here. So as you look through the classroom, now you've got students staring at each other across the classroom saying, I'm privileged and you're not.
Exactly. And so the student who is the furthest, closest to wherever the teacher was, presumably, they would be the most privileged person. And this is something that you go into in your book where, you know, in the past, we had no idea what was going on in the schools. But now, you know, thanks to the Attorney General out in Missouri and elsewhere, people are exposing what's going on.
Everything the Attorney General just said are things we're seeing across this country, and we didn't know about it. This is Missouri, not Massachusetts or California. It is every single school district you can conceive of, and they keep it out of the curriculum, and the Attorney General knows this because they don't want to write it down and show it to parents. So it's part of the pedagogy, the philosophy of teaching. It's outside consultants. My book's out on Tuesday. You know what else was out on Tuesday? Ibram X. Kendi's How to Raise an Anti-Racist. Now, he won't sell any books, but all of the teachers' unions and the education departments will invite him in to consult on how they teach teachers about race, which is exactly how you end with privilege walks in classrooms across the country.
The school district did put out a statement. It reads in part, the district has been made aware of this classroom activity, which is not included in the school district curriculum, and is currently investigating the matter. Mr. Attorney General, what do you make of that? It's like, we don't know where it came from. It's not in the curriculum.
Well, you're right. The reality is it is part of the curriculum, but it's also part of how they're training teachers and staff and administrators. And if you're a hammer, everything is a nail. So this kind of divisive ideology has infiltrated itself all throughout the country and into these districts, including in places like Missouri, where we're having to sue to not just issue these subpoenas to get more information, but also under our state's open records laws. But parents feel betrayed. They feel betrayed that they're sending their kids to school. They had no idea this was happening. And they want their country back. They can't believe this is actually happening, and we're going to continue to fight to expose it, like I said, and to root this out because it has no business in our classroom. We ought to be teaching, reading and writing and math and science, not this woke ideology that further divides people.
Well, when you get some answers, get back to us. Mr. Attorney General, we thank you very much. By the way, Pete's new book, Battle for the American Mind, Uprooting a Century of Miseducation, is on sale right now. It is one of the biggest It is the biggest book right now in the world. Pete, congratulations.
Thank you, Steve. They feel betrayed because the parents have been betrayed. That's exactly right.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you
Steve.
both. Meanwhile,